There was a time when creators, especially ones 40 and over who were an expert in some sort of subject, needed a whole lot of things to be successful creating content and being able to monetize that content, and especially on YouTube. But the good news is it's 2026 and you don't need that anymore. Here are 3 things you don't need in 2026 to make money. So the first thing you need to do is you need to stop chasing the wrong goals. Views aren't the problem. The business model is. Understand, you need to build income you own, not that you rent, because then you take control away from an algorithm. Number 2, if you are watching this on YouTube, you don't need YouTube monetization in order to make money. Being discovered by their algorithm has no correlation to actually making money. Views and money, subs and money have nothing to do with one another. In fact, I'd go as far as to say the more views you get, the worse chance you have. But if you have a video that goes viral, you're going to get a whole lot of people who will never see your content again, and they didn't really care that they saw it in the first place. So they're not going to be the ideal person that might have a problem that you can solve. Here's what most creators still haven't figured out. Discovery needs to lead to community, and that leads to income. You don't need a huge audience. That is number 2. I want you to think about it in these terms. What if you have 10,000 followers and you are able to monetize just 1% of those 10,000 followers who would be willing to pay you $20 a month? That's $2,000 a month. That's way better than a platform payout check that you're going to get. Now, what if you're able to monetize up to 5%? That's $10,000 a month, way beyond anything that most brand deals or any kind of platform payouts are going to get you. So you need to worry about trust, not traffic. And last, you do not need complexity. Everybody out here that is talking about Go High Level, or they're talking about ClickFunnels, or they're talking about Linktree, or they're talking about Stand Store. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need funnels. You don't need landing pages. You don't need email sequences. And the good news for you 40 plus people, you don't need to learn a bunch of tech and jargon and coding and programming and connecting things together so you can actually get paid. You don't need to do any of that stuff anymore. All you need to do is pick a topic that you want to talk about consistently, something you won't get bored at, something you love, something you're good at, and something you love sharing your knowledge with other people just because it brings you joy. Then you want to build a place off of social media. Think of social media as a superhighway. On superhighways, you're going 80 miles an hour. What you need is an off-ramp to get people off of social media. How many people follow you on social media? Completely irrelevant. How many people care about you enough to follow you away from social media? Completely relevant. And I'm not talking about an email list. People don't want to be on an email list. Email is a one-way form of communication, but a shared experience and interactive communication, not only between you and them, but between them and other people who share their problem and share their interests. That's a place they want to hang out. And all you have to do is pick your topic, build your community, and then invite people to your community. It is that simple. Trust beats views, because trust leads to authority, and authority leads to sales. And in this case, it leads to recurring income. And then last but not least, you have to build something you own. If you don't, then you are subject to the same type of things that's happened to me and many other creators, which is you wake up one day and this huge social media following that you built has disappeared because either they took it away or it was hacked and stolen from you, like it happened to me. Now, if you're looking for a place where you can do this, I have what's called the Kashflow path, where you get to create income you own, which you build, you grow, and you keep. The link is in my bio here. You can start a free trial. We're going to teach you real tactics, like my friend Ray here, who is 67 years old, and he said his biggest regret was waiting, because when he stopped waiting, in his first 10 weeks, he created $1,400 of monthly recurring revenue, and he had a conversion rate of 6.2%. Or my friend Cindy, she monetized 1% of a 300,000 person following on TikTok, and suddenly she's making $3,000 a month. Be sure you hit that bell so you get notified. I make videos like this every single day, and if you have any questions, you can drop them below. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.